Barb. Welcome to my craft studio. I have a haul from Scrapbook Expo. I went to the Schaumburg Expo yesterday, spent the morning there. Got to meet one of the Get Organized Challenge girls and see Tiffany. I wanted to get a new photo taken with Tiffany, but her booth was so crowded, which was great to see, and I hope that she comes back to this expo and maybe does some more so other people around the country could see her too. But this was the show guide. I didn't really shop at that many booths. I mean, I went and looked at just about all of my, might have missed one or two, but I spent all my money at 3 booths. And a lot of it was at Totally Tiffany. But when we were standing in line, the Color Pillar booth, which I think I missed their booth, but I wouldn't have bought anything there anyway, was passing out these little power banks. I think it's supposed to be a power bank for the Caterpillar Glow, which I think is like their light box. But I'm wondering if it will work with any USB driven device. So I'm thinking maybe the new foil quill pen that I am going to be getting, the freestyle one, or maybe even charge up your phone on the go. So I'm gonna check that out. I went to the Stamps of Life booth. I was looking for her postal themed ones. I found a couple of them. I found this one, which is called Happy Mail to Stamp. I know she has one with patterns on it. I might try to go online and order a couple of her other postal themed ones. One of them I noticed when I looked at home was out of stock. She said you could order them at the show and they wouldn't charge you shipping, but I see her shipping's really not too bad anyways. I just decided to wait and look elsewhere, which I was glad I did because I ended up buying something else with the money I would have spent on those. And then I bought the die to go with that stamp set. And then I bought this one that's called Stamped for You. It's a little created by type stamp. So, and then as an early bird in that one, it was a coupon. If you spent $10, you got you could choose a free mini stamp. I chose this little cupcake. I went to a booth called Kindred Stamps, which I had never heard of. They had shared a post in the Stamp Expo Schaumburg group of some of their stamps, and I seen these Game of Thrones inspired ones, so I had to go to that booth. They had a really cute couple Harry Potter ones too, but they were about $21 a set, which, I mean, is a little bit more than I normally spend on a stamp set, but I really wanted these ones. I decided I would wait on the Harry Potter ones if they're at next year's show. Maybe I'll get those because I figured Harry Potter probably will stick around a while because Harry Potter's kind of a staple. Whereas I'm not sure with Game of Thrones ending if they'll have those next year. And I also bought the little Game of Thrones inspired stickers. I was going to pick up the Harry Potter stickers if they had them, but I couldn't find them at the booth. Maybe they were just out of them. The next booth was all Totally Tiffany. I actually shopped there twice. She had a show special that if you bought 3 buddy bags, you got 1 free. So I bought 4 of the Leanne bag because I use these ones for my fat quarters. There's a lot of things you can use them for. She shows them for tools, punches, ink pads, paints, but they fit my fat quarters pretty good, so I like to divide those up by season. Like all my Christmas ones are in one. Halloween will be in another. So I bought 4 of that one. I bought a Dawn. Actually, I bought 2 Dawn ones. I'm using these ones to hold my buttons. Well, one of them's going to be used to hold my buttons. I bought a second one just in case. I like to have a spare of each of those on hand if I can, and I know there's a few more that I need. I bought the new buddy bag Merle, And we also bought a Barbara bag, but that one hubby took. He needed a mini Barbara bag. I had to buy my namesake. And I bought a bag of the button bag organizers, because the ones that I bought, I have went through all of. But there's 40 bags in there, but I went through 40 bags. I divided my buttons up a little bit more than I had before. And then they had a early bird coupon that if you bought one item, you got one half price. So I picked up her new crafting apron just because I think it was really cute. The one they show in the picture is actually the old style, which they didn't sell to the public. And everybody was asking about it in the Good Organized Challenge, so they did create one to sell in the group. And I got the small card rotating design board. This is the card maker one. So, and then when I went back to meet the other Get Organized Challenge girl that we had arranged kind of a little meetup at her booth, I broke down and bought another paper cart. It's the paper cart combo. It comes with the cart and 5 of the paper handlers. I had been thinking about another one of these, and I did ask the first time I was in the booth. It wasn't quite as crowded, and so I asked her if the die file would fit on the bottom, which she says, I don't know. So she says, let's check it. So she checked, and she says, yeah, it'll fit on the. She goes, it might overhang a little bit, but I'm like, well, that's not a big deal. I said, because I'm thinking about taking the die, eventually getting the die file. I don't have that yet, and putting it on the bottom, and then putting my Spinder binders on the top that I'm going to put my unmounted stamps in, and kind of have this cart as a die and stamp cart, so I can just kind of push it into the closet when I'm not using it and pull it out when I need it. She said it was an unexpected show special. She says they got a call from HSN that I think she said 20 of the carts. I could be wrong on the number, but she said there was a certain number of boxes that arrived there damaged, so HSN wouldn't sell them. So her husband happened to be coming up through the area where the warehouse was for HSN, so he stopped, picked them up, and brought them to the show so that they could sell them. I think it was $49.95, I think, which was even better price than HSN. But the boxes had very little damage, just a little bit of dent. I suppose they figured they'd have to be shipped again, and it being already a little bit weakened, they would get more damage in shipping, so they didn't want to sell them that way. So I had been thinking about another one of these if the die file fit. I have one of these, but I don't use the other one I have in my craft room. I put her 4-level stadium on it, and it holds my spices down in my dining room. I can wheel it to the kitchen if I want to work in there, but a lot of times I prep in the dining room. So, but it's easy enough. It's got nice sturdy wheels that I can just wheel it wherever I need to prep at. So I decided to pick up another one to create a stamp and die station. That's kind of, I think, one of the things I really need to get working on. Part of it was I was trying to figure out storage, because I want to redo my catalog, and I knew whatever storage, because I wasn't happy with what I had, which I knew what I had was temporary. But I knew once I switched, my numbering system was probably going to change a little bit, just due to necessity of how I was storing them. So that's kind of, there's a new Get Organized Challenge that starts September 3rd. You can go to Tiffany's website and sign up for it now. The challenge is free. It runs 8 weeks. The first week's about learning her system for organizing, and then each week's like a different theme. Like the first week's paper, the second week's paper, because the first week's one was, and the third week I think now is photos, because she kind of rearranged it last time. And then we have embellishments, tools, which tools is like your punches, your stamps, your dies, your embossing folders. That one's a big week, and you're not expected to do all your paper week. She kind of gives you homework to do, and each week she kind of adds in a little bit more paper to deal with. A lot of people, if they have a lot of paper, do not even finish their paper in one challenge. It's just, it just depends on how much stuff you have and how much time you have to really dedicate to. If you're just doing the homework and you have a lot, you're not going to finish in one challenge, and that's not, but I look at it this way. We didn't accumulate all of our stuff and get in the condition that it is before a challenge in 8 weeks, so we shouldn't expect to finish organizing it in 8 weeks. But it has made a world of difference in my craft room. Now, my first challenge, I hardly had any paper. I didn't have a room. I just stored things here and there. So I just had like a couple of those. I think I had 6 drawers that were 12 by 12, and that's all the paper I had. And now I have a full calyx cube. Well, an 8 cube calyx and another 4 cube one that's got paper and vinyl in it. It's got my seasonal paper and vinyl and specialty papers in it. But like I said, it's absolutely free. You don't have to have a scrap rack to use the 4-section system that she teaches. She will use the scrap rack during her presentations, but she doesn't push buying it. Usually what she does is at the end of each week class, after the class part is over, she'll have a little presentation on products. If you want to stay, you don't have to watch it live either. She does present them live, but you can go back and catch them later if the live time isn't convenient for you. But after class ends, then she does a presentation of the products, so that if you're not interested in that, you can just stop watching when class is over, and you won't, miss anything relevant to class. It's all product information after that point. So I know the first time everybody's always a little leery. Was it really free? But it is, and she's really not a hardcore pusher. I love her products. I highly recommend them to anybody, but they're not necessary to use her organizational system. Anyways, that's all I got at Expo. Oh, the one other thing I did earn was the different buttons. I should share that real quick. I think I have time. It's all caught up here. I got the I support button. I had that before I even went, because I bought my ticket at a local store. I got the I returned because I could show that I was at a previous expo. It doesn't have to be within the same year to get that. I bought last year's button to show that I was there, and they gave me that. I got the I created. I actually didn't create at the Creativity Center because we were getting ready to go and there was a long line, so I just popped up to the front and asked, can I just get the button? And she says, oh, that's no problem. They understand sometimes you don't have time to wait in their line, so they just gave me the button. And then I got the I shopped because I spent over $150. This one's a special one. It doesn't count towards earning rewards or anything. I bought this one. It's the Illinois one, the Illinois Schaumburg show stamp. And then if you collected 4 buttons, so it's the square buttons throughout the show, and there were a couple other ones. There's an I volunteered or an I learned. If you took a class, you just had to collect 4 of them, and then you got the lanyard that says I conquered. So I like to collect them. They're not necessary, but I like to collect them. But anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time.